Hey guys, this is Gavin, and here is my final presentation that I will show you for what I done for this course and what I did overall as a student taking this illustration class. I'm going to be talking about the strengths and weaknesses that I do have and also the assignment as well and the way I did my process. So basically starting out doing the object sketches, we mostly have done picking like three three objects that we done for this course. So for this assignment, we had to pick three of them. So what I did scissors, pouch, and also the tape measurement. So the strongest one I really like is the dragon overall. I actually did the leg. Um, I really like how I executed that really well, and I also like the duet. And mostly I just did the clan as well, which I actually picked for all three of them were my favorites, so I actually use them for my progress and for my finish. And I'll also show you some of them that I done as well. So I did the swords and the woodpecker for the scissors, the burger, the hot air balloon as the pouch, and also the scissors for the butterfly. Forgot about that. Um, I just did the snail shell for the tape measurement, which I kind of did not like how I kind of executed the snail, the way how long it is, and the tape measurement is like a big. Should have just actually just made the snail a little bit like shorter instead of like longer. So I like how I did the bag of coins for it. I would say the base is probably like my second one that I did overall. So I actually just picked the dragon, the duet, and the pouch. Not the clam, I mean. So yeah. Moving forward with the sketch, I really like how some of the final has turned out. I really love how I did the clam most especially. I actually did it very successful. The way I actually did the values and the way I kind the way I how I executed this really well, like the bubbles and stuff. This how the sun rays underneath the ocean and the sand, the little pebbles, the shells, all over is just so perfectly detailed. I would say the second one I really like is the scissors. I really like how I did the duet, but I don't like how a little bit stiff the woman's body is a bit. I would say it doesn't look right. I could have done it straight. I should, like I did, I just did it with pencil and then I did it with pen after with most of these illustrated sketches. So I kind of like how I did the background for it and I would say like the lighting that hits them like on stage and even like the curtains as well and the issue with this was mostly just like the flooring. That's all it is. Then the dragon, I really like how I did the dragon, but as I said, the biggest issue, which is my nitpick, is the shadow underneath the dragon, which feels really off, and it feels like it's just it doesn't like add anything to it. I would say like the background and stuff looks pretty fine, I guess. But if I could have just changed it, I would, or even like get it in Photoshop. But yeah, I really like how this turned out. Next is my silhouette process. So I found it pretty satisfying that I actually did it. And what we did, we actually draw like older, young, adults, uh, different age group of doing silhouettes, different positions with different objects, standing, moving, walking, running, name it, and also doing animals as well. So I honestly found this pretty satisfying and pretty interesting to do. Um, I just did it like in as a marker, like a little pen marker for this activity. So I really like how I actually set some of the movement and stuff for it long, far, close shots as possible. So yeah, I really love how this turned out. Okay, so next is my Illustrator presentation. So we were creating a short presentation to analyze our Illustrator and their work and the way how they do their styles and stuff. And so for what I picked for my Illustrator presentation, I picked Patrick Hagel. Um, his work was mostly focused around like confident women showing their sexuality, and his style he uses flat colors and clean lines for most of his works. And as you see right now, is most of his works were a lot of collaborations that were pretty satisfied with his works. So as you see with Grant Fidel, Rockstar, who created that game, also used the title screen for Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and Gucci they used the clothing based on his like style that works for women, as you see for the Durain Durain album as well also. And yeah, for my mood board, so basically for this whole semester, we were mainly focused on our story. It's a public domain story that is based on like older shows or something like that, not even like being used, I believe. So my main public domain story, I wanted to do Monkey's Paw. So the title of my story was Honeymoon, the Three Wishes. Um, it was about like a married couple going to Japan on a honeymoon, which are named James and Kate. Uh, they discover something mysterious that happened when a strange monkey paw print suddenly appeared. So obviously, I know it's going to be a little bit off for my comic strip, but I kind of changed it up in the way how it actually was. So basically, what I did some vehicles for like a car. Actually, when James and Kate head to their house, um, I did the monkeys for their scene, like when they go to see the monkeys on the island. I just did like the villain for like the serial killer. I did like this guy to kind of help like the curse or whatever. And I actually did like some closing, just kind of like some simplicity, like modern style of both the young adults um, that were on the honeymoon. I did the colors and I did the layouts and the way how I wanted to kind of do it, and also doing the objects as well. So for the character designs, I basically just based off of what I just mentioned. Um, so I just did some characters for it. So I just did some of the positionings. So my favorite ones I mostly like is both the second one overall. Um, and for James, I did him like a cool black style, like in his personality, which I kind of like it like a lot more though, because Kate is like more mysterious, just more cautious. She's so optimistic. Um, and yeah, I would just say I really like how this turned out overall with the sketch. The issue with this, I would just say, is just I think is like the anatomy, and I would say the way how long James's arms were is almost like an ape. Let me just put it that way. I don't like how the file just turned out for Cadus also as well. I think I kind of struggle with this, so as kind of like overall, and then once I kind of improve with the sculpture, which you're going to see right now, um, which I have. So yeah, so some of the colors I actually executed, I thought it actually matched. It kind of matched the style pretty well though. The way I actually did the colors and stuff, the way I kind of did the details for the monkey spirit. it all came together. So I was pretty confident and pretty proud of that. So for the object and prop designs, I did a witch talisman, a sense I don't know how to say that, insensitives, and a sweet potato. So I just did the sweet potato as the main focus of the story, which I kind of like showcase like how Kate hand the sweet potato to the monkey and he ate it and it caused like a curse in him. So that's probably something that happened and it's the main purpose of the story. So that's what I did overall. I kind of did the simplicity of the story to be the main focus of it. So the sweet potato, I work on the values for the process and then the finish. I did it on Photoshop and I just did an adjustments layers on it. So, and I really like how it turned out in the end. For the environment layout, I'm just going to be really honest on how I did this process so far. Some I'm pretty happy with, some I'm not. So I really like how I executed the backgrounds and the lines. But the issue with this, with the driveway, it doesn't proportion right at all with the house and the grass overall. And I would say with this rock right here, it just feels like it looks like a robin, like a bird. Like the way the shape how it looks though. That's all it is. Uh, the layout, the value scale, I really like how I actually execute it, especially the temple, like the way how consistent I was, but the colors just like, eh. I don't kind of like it, but it's still fine. But I just did the values for the comic strip anyway. I also really like how I did the island, the way how the sun is hitting the water and the mountains. But I would say like for the rocks, I had a hard time on the way how I can actually compromise that. The way I sketched it out. I would say the monkeys are fine. It's like I did the skin color correct, but that's overall. It's still fine. The house is kind of the same too, but it's just the way I kind of like drew it as well. It's just it feels like it's rushed. Then the color, I really like how I actually did the um what I was about to say, the contrast of the colors, which I done, as you see with the mountains, the sky, and the sand. I really like how I actually execute this really well. Even with the house, this looks nice. So I did like the mountains and stuff here and there. And for the temple, like I said, I was pretty confident with like how I did the gray and stuff. But I would say like the greenery, it kind of did not match with the sky at all. But I still like how I did the trees with the trunks and stuff, which adds the details of the bark. Okay, so the first comic strip layout, I mostly focus on doing the whole theme of it. So I just did the two couple going on the island, and then James was pretty confident wanting Kate to feed the monkeys the sweet potato. So yeah, I really like how I did the colors and stuff. No, not the colors, but the values and stuff. But the issues I did not like, my instructor and pointed out, is just Kate's hair. And let me see. I so what I did with this, I used like some of the draft, the color, no, the the pictures for some of my for my rough draft. I I did some of them in my own comic strip, so I thought this would be interesting. Some of them were really strong, so I used them. So that was pretty much it. So next thing I do is just I actually kind of sketch it out. So the skins and stuff, the skin tones, and so what I did, I actually did the layouts for some of them that I did for my other previous sketches. And then I really like how I did Kate as the point of view in this as she's walking up the temple. So for also my the way I actually structured this, I actually did the background first to color it, and I did the characters separately, and that was pretty much it. So what I did, I actually got rid of the big jarring long stuff of the borders and cleaned it up a bit. It even kind of made the skin tone pop and also matched the consistency of my strips. Lastly, my sculpture process, I did the wiring first, showing it's sorry if it's like 2D, but I kind of it's almost like flip flop if you kind of know what I mean. And so starting out with it, I kind of just like did the base of it of the characters. I just kind of did like stick, and then I tried to put some clay here and there. Then next, I kind of did like the forming of like the clothes, the skin, the hair. I really like how I did the hair. Like what I did, I rolled it with a paintbrush, and that was pretty much it. Like I said, the clay I used was dry clay, so I wasn't like gonna heat it. And this is what it turned out in the end. I really love how this works. What I did the black outline, but it almost reminds me of like Dr. Seuss vibe for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, this is what the final was for this. And I would say I really like how this turned out overall. But the issues with it, I don't like the lines for the hair and the nose. The nose, I don't like how it's like a big block, and I just kind of like drew it. It just feels like a little bit, feels like it's really off. And the hair, don't like how I just did the black lines for it. I could have still kept it like basically normal, but it's still fine. But as overall, I really this class helped me a lot, and it kind of strengthened me more getting into my next attempt for my portfolio review and gaining my own strength and helping me to improve more further as a design and an illustrator at the same time. Really appreciate your all feedbacks, guys, for helping me along the way. And as always, thank you so much. Hope you all had a great summer.